And we are standing at the VCU Computer Center table so we can learn more about the Computer Center at VCU. And we are with the director of the VCU Computer Center, Sean O'Keefe. Sean, how are you doing?
I'm good, and I'm glad to be here.
No, you're not going to do Spanish for me this time?
Buenos dias, senor.
Thank you. Thank you. We got to get that in. So, Sean, we saw you last year at the Tech Fair. Any big changes since last year for the Computer Center? I know we had some events that you guys handled greatly, handled and wonderfully since then. But what's been going on at the Computer Center?
Well, we've really been taking off with increased shared data storage and clustering of VM servers. Those are our two major infrastructure projects, inside the data center. What's happening on a larger scale of building infrastructure is DGS is finally going to replace the two chillers on the roof and the water tower that provide the chilled water for cooling for the whole building. Those devices are over 20 years old. There's three smaller chillers now. One of them is completely down. So we're excited about that project. We've also been looking into the possibility of installing a grid switch so that we can switch between the two power feeds. If we had this in place last October, we wouldn't have gone down. We're considering the feasibility of installing a manual grid switch right now. So trying to get our primary data center to Tier 3 status infrastructure-wise, it's difficult because we don't own the space. While we still go ahead with all our internal projects, we're making a lot of progress. We've had internal reorganization. All the engineering staff is now reporting to a single manager and trying to do away with the distinction between being a Unix engineer and a Windows engineer and just call them an OS engineer. There's going to be cross-training. We continue to use our service level agreement funds for training. Since I've been the director, we spent over $75,000 on technical training, and we will continue to be aggressive with that.
Now, you guys built the an actual nice physical space for the Network Operations Center. How's that been working out this year?
What we did was, thanks to Bill Jones in networking, DGS wanted to use the conduit, the fiber conduit for the, I think the Southern Loop, and pull their own fiber through that. So we can't sell that, so they said quid pro quo. And we got about $5,000 worth of free glassware installed that created the knock pit, as I call it.
Is that Pyrex?
No, it's safety glass. Professionally installed, and what it does is present a stiller air but much quieter environment for the knock analysts to work in. I think to a man and woman they would still tell you it's a little chilly in there, but we do let them have one break a day for 5 minutes to go and thaw out.
Oh, well, that's nice of you. How many servers do you guys actually have in the Computer Center?
We have over 600 now, and that includes 148 virtual servers.
That's a lot of servers.
It is. We still have room for a few more racks, and we have space, probably 50, 70 physical servers. The boss has actually suggested we need to start thinking about going to the cloud for test and development.
Right.
That's a big change. But we're also going to go project this summer. We're going to have 10 gig in the data center. Now we have 10 gig network bandwidth to the data center, and that's called the distribution layer.
Right.
But we're going to have 10 gig to the racks, and that involves Cisco Nexus equipment, and that includes 2 large routers for the distribution. When I say large, 1 router per rack. So that's 2 huge heat makers, also big power draws, and then the equivalent switches so that we can have 10 gig throughput to the servers. This is also going to allow us to trunk to the racks. So if you have a rack with 8 servers in it, instead of 8 or 16 network cables, there'll be 1. So this is a big deal for us. It's also a big deal for the temperature in the data center.
You guys are looking at virtual machines. What is the plans for that?
We are going to be more aggressive with that. We started out with 1 model for a virtual machine. That was 2 gigs of memory, capacity of 1 CPU, and 50 gig for the system drive. We just now have permission from the CIO to present 3 layers or levels of virtual machines. You have small, medium, or large. And we're also going to have to charge a little bit more for medium and large. We already have customers for medium. School of Medicine needs what we call chunkier VMs. So virtual machines is always the first option when you call or submit a ticket for a new server. The wedding planner will try to ascertain, is this a candidate for virtual? With the new models of hardware supporting VMware, we have what is called hyper-threading, and that means you can have more than one CPU used by a VM, which presents those to the applications. So we are going to be able to put bigger clients on the virtual machines. We're also, right now, doing the architecture work to cluster every non-siloed VMware server. Some, like LANDesk, need to be left alone. But everything will be in a cluster, which allows us to offer the customer high availability if they wish it, but it gives us the option of moving between servers their applications so we can do maintenance on the server with no downtime to the customer. And that's very important for us because it gets to be a bit of a nightmare when you're trying to juggle maintenance on the servers that support 148 VMs. We have the capacity, the headroom, for over 300 VMs now. We will continue to purchase VMware servers with the funding formerly known as CTEF every year.
Mainly VMware? Is that what y'all are using for virtual?
VMware is it. That's our strategic partner. We did investigate Windows Hyper-V, but with a small staff of 22 engineers and NOC analysts, 4 hands-on working manager, and the guy in the EJIT office, that's a staff of 27. So we are thinly provisioned staff-wise. We have to consolidate on core technologies. So we support the Solaris and Red Hat environments for Unix. We support Microsoft Windows. Database, we support Oracle, MySQL, and SQL Server. We use Dell servers, we use APC racks, we use Cisco networking gear. We are currently an EMC storage partner. We are actively investigating NetApp.
If we had to say that this is the year of, for the computer center, is the year of virtualization? Or?
I would say so. It's the year of clustering. Like a lot of technology products, we crawled, we walked, and we're getting ready to start jogging. Well, thanks for asking those questions, Sam. You're going to have to edit the heck out of this.
Oh, no, we'll just go raw with it. It's fine. You did great.
All right, thanks, Sam.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
Sam Kennedy at the VCU Tech Fair.